Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give a brief introduction to this weekend workshop. If you'll direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is an important scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in this life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important element of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw our consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang, where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instruction will be given on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members and translating important satsang literature into English, and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more available to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
So happy Saturday, everyone. I had joined a session in India, in Hyderabad. We did an English session. So I kind of revisited the pyramid, the 5 steps to nirvana, or 5 steps to lasting inner peace. So let's revisit that today. Let's see. All right. So basically, on one side we see Maslow's hierarchy, and so even that talks about, there are some lower level needs, and then there are some higher level needs. I think even this particular model, which talks about 5 levels, while it's pretty ancient, Upanishads talked about it. Guru Maharaj kind of referred this in some very interesting ways, that, one is somebody who is, totally materialistic, very focused on the physical aspects of our existence. And that's, basically safety and, me, and the safety and security basically are the core focus. When you start looking at vertical progress and how do you get towards what Guru Maharaj talks about as inner peace or abundance of peace. This is really helpful. And while the major difference between the next two, which is the realm of life and realm of mind, realm of life, interestingly, is like breathing. Breathing, stops for a moment, and so that's pretty much. So breathing exercises, chanting, a lot of the rituals which in inner practices. So when you go towards the realm of mind, the focus. So the difference between those two is there's still physical activities in the realm of life, and in the realm of mind, more inner focused, inner orientation, inner pursuits. And as I think Eddie was referring to, it's like there is a difference between, kirtans or external satsang and internal. And in meditation terms, concentration, so activities that help concentration are in the realm of life, and meditation where you forget who you are, where you are, you're in deep silent place, and that's where our practice starts. So interestingly, Guru Maharaj talks about, realm of mind is where we begin this practice. And the idea is that if you tackle your mind, you will be able to, like breathe. For example, your health, overall physical health, even your breathing patterns get better. So it affects downwards, but it also affects upwards in terms of, so till the realm of mind, it is called the lunar phases or lunar realms, where you, like moon, you're reflecting someone else's light, or, while above that, at the top of the realm of mind and beyond that, it's the solar realms where you have your own light. And that's why, I do talk about the light, love, and peace. And maybe, Ivan, if you can bring the other one. So once you have, so third realm is the longest realm. And practices like satsang and the meditation that we practice help you cross this realm. And then top of this realm, your ability to control your emotions, your expectations, and going beyond the heavy focus on security and safety, and you start thinking about higher consciousness, higher awareness. And as soon as you cross the realm of mind, some of the mental powers that you acquire through the process, Guru Maharaj says that then you are on cruise control, crossing the realm of knowledge and realm of love. Still, there's still work to do and effort to make in some ways. But, the powers that you acquire in terms of, the controlled emotions and expectations and desires, that provide you the ability to further concentrate, meditate, and get into these samadhis and higher consciousness states, which then bring this light, which is nothing but knowledge. And that knowledge then helps you understand your space in this universe, as well as how integral we are to other conscious beings. And then this unconditional love and unconditional giving becomes that comes in as well. Yuan, could you change the slide, please? Yeah, and so in terms of what we are tackling in each of the realms and what's and what needs to happen as a solution. So in the realm of the world, we are searching for peace in the world, while world around us is changing so rapidly that there is no peace. So changing the direction to look inwards, I think, is the change that needs to happen. And then initially, concentration or activity-based meditation provides the ability to cross the realm of life. And then inner meditation, and we just talked about that, like once you focus inwards and do inner pursuits and inner meditation, then that helps you cut through the realm of mind. And then just based on what you have already done, if you don't get distracted and slip and slide from there, which happens too, which is another chapter in Guru Maharaj's book. But if you continue to ascend, then first light appears, then love, and the love, light, and peace essentially are the top of the pyramid. And they, in a way, there is a bit of a sequence, but in some ways, it just leads to one another. And so the person in this, abundance of peace also has abundance of love and also has abundance of light. And that's why I talked about this pyramid for quite a while before I actually realized that light, love, and peace now have a completely new meaning for me. And just wanted to share that as well. All right, so now let's practice how this process actually helps us to get inward oriented. Start with concentration on this transcendental energy in form of light. So to meditate, the basic is keep a relaxed posture, which you can, so through the practice, want to minimize the distractions. You want to minimize, any distraction to the mind. And so two things are very important. One, a relaxed posture where you can stay still for the period of practice, and eyes lightly closed for the same reason, because the sensory input distraction mind as well. So bodily movement and sensory input through the eyes, we want to minimize those two. So sit in a relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, and then observe and feel the presence of this transcendental energy in front of you in form of light. And that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and that we're becoming one with this light. We're completely getting immersed in this light. So we're becoming that energy. And so, the first step is to start looking inwards. When you realize, when you start observing and feeling the presence of this transcendental energy, you're now concentrating your mind onto that observation. So that's the concentration step. When you go deeper into the silent meditation, and you forget about your environment, your thoughts, where you are, who you are, and it just almost like lose even sense of time. That's when you are in deep meditation, and that leads to a higher consciousness and higher awareness. And so all this kind of works together in the practice. When you're trying to concentrate on this observation of or feeling the presence of this transcendental energy, and you feel the connection, your entire focus for this period should be that there is this transcendental energy in front of you in form of light. That light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming completely and totally immersed in it. When your mind wanders away, bringing it back to this thought is also inward orientation step, and that's very essential. And so we will transition in with music, and we will transition out with music. So let's start now. So happy Saturday, everyone. Hello, hello. So any thoughts to share, comments, questions? So any first timers today? Is it
Sanjeev Bhaiya, Pranam. This is Neeta from London.
Yeah, how are you? Namaskar.
I'm good, Namaskar. I just have one question. I mean, I'm fighting a few demons in office. Why do some people behave so irrationally?
So, see, the thing is that what is first we need to understand what's in our control, right? What is in our control is how we react and what do we do, and yes, there are ways in which we can influence ourselves and our environment, people within our environment. But the biggest thing, especially in context of inner peace, is how do we react to things? And I think we had a session on how do we stay peaceful in toxic surroundings. And, and I think in the context of what we were discussing, there are a lot of things that we see in the world should be different. And there are obviously, in my view, just participating in sessions like this, conducting these sessions, facilitating, etc. All of that, is a process. So think about and if I'm going all over the place, maybe you'll have to bring me back to focus. But I'm going all the way back to Maharishi Patanjali when he did the research, ages ago. What he found was that there is a faster energy, negative energy, that is going downwards. And then there is a slow moving energy that is moving upwards, all within us. And that has effect within and outside of us. And the way I look at it is the fast moving energy, if that was a spiral that is getting bigger and bigger, every little effort to hold that, to push that upwards, that happens through this, feeding the positive energy. And what we practice here, what we do in meditative practices is to kind of push kind of turn the direction upwards. So one of the thoughts is that if one at a time, and all of us were positive and were influencing our inside and out positively, that will start affecting and creating that positive change that we think about, talk about. But then on the more tactical aspect, the first thing that we need to do in terms of reacting to negative onslaughts, because see, negative demons are within as well, and they are as strong or more. So how do we tackle the negative aspects around, within, and outside of us is inculcate, imbibe, and instill positive energy and push that negativity out. So, we were talking about this pyramid earlier. As you grow vertically upwards on the pyramid, your positive influence on the environment starts increasing. Doesn't mean that people who have negative energy would not continue to do what they're doing, but you will create a positive environment. You will be positive. You will not get affected by that negative energy. So all that would, make you react differently than, an eye for an eye. So hope that helps.
Thank you, Sanjeev. I think it really does put things into context. And also the fact that the negative energy is definitely more powerful than the positive one.
So, so interestingly, even if you watch the trilogy of Lord of the Rings, what I observed is, and actually you can verify, like the number of the negative elements shown there in the first movie, I think they're in the thousands, and the second one, it's in the hundreds of thousands or something like that. It's like a multiplier effect in terms of how much negative forces are there. However, the positive force, the number is less, but they always win. That's the interesting aspect. So the number may be less, it might be slow moving, but the effect in neutralizing the negative energy is enormous. So, I mean, so many ways, like, if I look at my grandfather's life, I mean, how many people, and sometimes like in villages and, remote places, he went, gave hope, gave energy, gave people the tools to fight the inner demons and external toxic surroundings. And this thought process that first make yourself strong, and first make yourself strong internally. And that inner strength then will bring out the change that you're looking for within and outside. So.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thanks a lot.
Eddie, you want to add anything to that?
No, that was good. But I was thinking that something maybe you could add to your conversation today that might help quite a few people is, doubts. Doubts is having doubt is an impediment to our progression along the pyramid upwards, our transcendental ascent. Can you talk about, in your experience, and reassure those who do have doubt that this method does indeed work?
So interestingly, anything, so just think about doubt as a concept itself. As soon as the doubt appears, the chances of your success in any endeavor of any kind, starts like exponentially declining. And I was actually reading a book, that somebody has translated, and I was trying to edit some of that translation. And the firm resolve and the belief through which you start anything matters. And especially any effort to vertically climb, because vertical climb, so forget about the, deep concepts and all that. Just think about if you have hiked or if you ever climb upwards, that climb is, one, a slow process. Two, it's a tiring process. Three, it has a few things. So once you, become an expert, in climbing up the mountains, what you realize is a guide is a must. So, especially people who go up the Mount Everest and all that, they have to prepare so much. They have to, and simple things like, if you were climbing a mountain, you will travel light. And I've talked about that in the past quite a lot, that we don't realize that even in the vertical progress that we are talking about here, the more baggage you carry, the more baggage of, it could be doubt, it could be, expectations, it could be desires, it could be any baggage that you carry would affect your vertical ascent. And the lighter you go, the higher and probably the more comfortable you will be, and the more higher you will be able to go as well. So, but yeah, doubt has several other factors. Actually, Eddie, you kind of touch upon something that I was thinking about before the session. Is like, like how few people actually, I mean, there is a lot of talk about inner peace and meditation and so on and so on and so on. But how few people actually get to this light, love, and peace at the top of the pyramid. So if, and a lot more people are searching for that answer, searching for that peaceful place, why so less number of people actually get to inner pursuits? Why less number of people actually achieve that state of light, love, and peace? What do you think?
I think it's, part of it is where we are in our evolutionary cycle as humans. Certainly at this point, the struggle is much more difficult than it would be if we were in like right now we're in the Kali Yuga. If we were at a Yuga which was higher consciousness, it would be much easier for us. So the struggle is a little bit more difficult, and we're beset by our desires for material things. And so that's the struggle we face. And so we can say, in a sense, that you talked about the negative forces, the downward forces that we personify as Satan. Those forces are so much greater than the transcendental light that we allow in and allow it to move us upwards. And so that's the struggle that we're facing at this time. But as you talked about before, through this satsang, we learn to bring that transcendental light in and soak it up sort of like a sponge. And as we do that, that transcendental light becomes more powerful than the negative downward energy or the satanic energy, and then we start to move our ascent forward. But that comes with practice, and it comes with eliminating or ridding ourselves of, like you just talked about earlier, doubt, and having faith that this process works. When we put all those things together and we do it on a daily basis through our practice, then we can achieve that. But many people aren't there yet. And I think as people start to do this on a daily basis, and we increase our faith and we practice, that we will start to see more and more people obtain that state that you talked about, the ocean of peace, joy, and bliss.
So any more comments on this, Karen, Michael, Kelly, Jeff? So Arvindji, how are you?
Namaskar, and happy Saturday to everybody. Yeah, I'm well. and wanted to say thank you for bringing this selflessly, bringing this spiritual light, love, and peace, that transcendental energy that that is so blissful. You know, there may be a tornado going outside, but on the inside, a person may find themselves at peace. So it's difficult to explain this miraculous sort of thing, but yeah, amazing stuff. It's almost like an antidote. I used to practice, and in practice, you'd give, antidote to certain conditions. So certain medications have antidotes, and you give an antidote. So this energy you bring is like an antidote to negativity and to toxicity.
Yeah, it's see, the doubts come because of ignorance. Doubts come because we haven't experienced. Doubts come because there is a misconception or misunderstanding, or something has been misconstrued. And I go back to I Googled like how many types of meditations are there, and the answers were like all over the place. I mean, actually, yes, there are thousands of ways in which we can meditate, because every personality is different, approaches are different, and so on and so forth. But there is a difference between concentration and meditation, which means there is a activity-based meditation and inner meditation. And then there are even higher forms where people who achieve the higher states, they just contemplate. And that contemplation, obviously, I mean, so there are steps, there are phases, there are realms that you have to cross, and each one will bring some difference in our perception and the activities and the types of things that will be required to cross that realm. But then how do we get clarity is the question, when there is so much information, but we need to it's hard to clear all that ourselves. I think sometimes it's we need a GPS. All right. So anything else before we wrap up? One more opportunity to share anything you would like. Or otherwise, Eddie, well, what's the wrap up for today?
I'll just reiterate what you said about the importance of the pyramid. That is our roadmap, and so many people don't have an idea of the work that needs to be done, or can describe the process whereby it can be done. And with this pyramid, we see the work that needs to be done, and then we have this meditation process to help us do it. So we really have everything that we need. All that's left now is for us to just execute. And, we can do that by attending these satsangs and then by practicing in our own time. But everything that we need to obtain the joy that we seek in life, we now have. So, let's do it. Or just do it, as Nike says, just do it. Nike commercial.
Yeah, practice, practice, practice. I think that's the key to achieving higher states. I think we just need to continue to have the mental resolve and firm resolve, and just continue the practice, evolve the practice. So on that note, have a great week ahead, and we'll see you all soon. glad that we were here.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.